Welcome to episode 29 of Leaders of Enchantment podcast. Today's podcast guest is Emily Howard, the relatively newly appointed Executive Director of the Economic Forum of Albuquerque. A proud Albuquerque native, Emily's path has been shaped by more than 25 years in strategic marketing and brand development, working with organizations like Visit Albuquerque, the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center, and now leading her own firm, Cheetah Strategies. She's also known for co-founding the Start Bragging movement, a grassroots effort to shine a positive light on our city and state. Now, as she steps into her leadership role at the Economic Forum, Emily is focused on connecting people, ideas, and opportunities to strengthen the future of New Mexico's economy. Today, we'll explore her journey from growing up here in Albuquerque to becoming one of the key voices driving collaboration and growth across our region. Please enjoy my conversation with Emily Howard. Emily Howard, welcome to Leaders of Enchantment podcast.
Thank you, Doug. Excited to be here.
Emily, who are you? And what is it you do around here?
Who am I? So my job life, I'm the Executive Director of Economic Forum of Albuquerque, and I also have a consulting business called Cheetah Strategy. It's brand consulting and strategic planning.
Okay.
I'm also a mom, a wife, a wannabe athlete.
I saw that in one of the bios I found. I stumbled upon this reference to wannabe athlete. Why do you say wannabe athlete?
Well, I mean, I don't really do much athletic things anymore. I was a tennis player for a long time.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Competitively?
Yeah, I played in college.
You did?
At TCU, and then played league here for a long time.
Okay, put a pin in the college thing.
Okay.
We'll get there. Do you still play tennis today?
I don't play as much. My kids are involved in volleyball now, so I'm focused on that and making sure they get to all their tournaments.
You're a professional volleyball spectator?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. I think you're an Albuquerque kid, right?
I am, yes. I grew up here.
Okay.
I was born and raised here. My parents met at UNM.
They did?
Yeah.
No kidding?
Yeah.
Okay. As students?
They did, yes.
Okay.
My dad was here for tennis. He played on the tennis team at UNM. And my mom's family is from Albuquerque. My great-grandparents came here in the early 1900s.
Okay.
For tuberculosis treatment.
Yes.
Yeah,
that was a big thing back then.
Yeah, and my dad's from Texas originally, and they met here. Okay. So I grew up here.
So your dad came on a scholarship?
He did.
For tennis?
Yeah.
Wow, go Lobos.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, they are big Lobos. Both my parents. My mom was a chaparral, which was the name of the dance group at UNM back in the day.
Okay. Well, that answers my question around, because you and I, we overlap, I think, in one capacity, which is for the UNM's NIL, Name, Image, Likeness Collective.
The 505 board.
And I was like, when I dug into your background, I'm like, you went to TCU. Yeah. What's the deal with the Lobos? But now I get it.
Yes. Parents are Lobos. Actually, my grandfather worked for UNM for a long time.
Okay.
My great-grandmother worked for UNM. So I feel like it's in my blood.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll give you an honorary
pass.
An honorary alumni badge. Not that I have the authority to give such a thing, but let's go ahead and do that. What part of town did you grow up in?
I grew up right near the North Golf Course by UNM.
Oh.
So Indian School in Carlisle area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And always in one location?
Yeah, pretty much. I think we lived in that house since I was 2 or something.
Okay.
And then my parents moved after I went to college.
Okay.
So they don't live in that neighborhood anymore, but that's where I grew up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think you and I are roughly the same age. So you would have grown up in the sort of 80s, 90s?
Yes,
in
exactly.
Albuquerque?
Yes.
What was your version of Albuquerque like?
It was fun.
Yeah?
I had a good time. Yeah, I went to Catholic school.
You went to Pius.
Yes.
That's one reference I found. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you go K through 12 to Catholic?
I did. I went to St. Charles, K through 8.
Okay.
And then to St. Pius. So I went to school with the similar group of kids for pretty much my entire life.
Oh, wow. That's kind of a novelty
cool.
for me. Very much. Okay.
Yeah.
You still stay in touch with a lot of those?
Yeah, some of them. Yeah. It's pretty funny. Like sometimes I'll be in a meeting. I'm like, oh, I know that person from kindergarten. Or, So there's a few group of girls that I keep in touch with.
So Albuquerque's a really small town for you.
Yes.
Okay.
I have lots of collisions for sure, which is great. I love that.
Yeah, that's cool. And so before we hit the recording button, you were talking about college on a tennis scholarship. So I imagine you were pretty active.
Yeah, I didn't say scholarship.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I wasn't that good. I actually walked on the team. I went to TCU. It wasn't my favorite when I first got there.
Okay.
I tried to join a sorority at my mom's suggestion, and that turned out horribly. So I was sort of lost. I didn't really know what I was doing, and I was like, all right, I took a tennis class for PE,
Okay.
and the tennis coach was like, you should try out for the team. I'm like, I don't know. So I did.
Okay.
Just to kind of find my people, and I ended up making the team. I didn't get a ton of playing time, but I was still training with them and hanging out with them, and that was cool.
Okay.
So it was just a great experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess let's run with that since you brought up TCU.
Yeah.
So you graduate from Pius.
Yep.
Were you bound and determined to leave the state?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to try something
You just
different.
wanted to try something different.
Yeah.
Okay. And why TCU?
It's smaller, pretty close to home. I looked at other schools too, like North Carolina, Arizona State,
Okay.
USC.
Okay.
And I kind of landed on TCU because it was smaller.
Was it the academics that attracted you?
I guess. Honestly, I
Did you
didn't
have
know what I was going to do.
any idea what you were going to
No.
do? Okay.
I thought I was going to be a teacher.
Oh, no kidding.
And that lasted about 10 minutes.
You took
I took some
Education
education
101
classes, and it
at
was just
you were
not,
like, nope.
not my thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so 18, you graduate, you looked at several colleges, you landed on TCU because you wanted a small-ish
Yeah,
school.
and my dad had gone to dental school in Dallas, so we were sort of familiar with the Dallas area.
Yeah, so you knew the
yeah.
Dallas-Fort
It was
Worth area.
Close plane ride.
Okay.
So,
okay.
yeah.
And so you initially started off thinking you were going to be an educator. That was a swing and a miss.
Yes.
When did you start to converge on sort of, I'll just say, communications with air quotes?
Yeah, I ended up in the business school. I think a counselor kind of encouraged me that way. So I went into the business school and then landed on as marketing as my specialty. And I think I really loved it because it was part business-minded things, but also creative at the same time.
Yep.
So that was appealing to me. I had great marketing professors at TCU.
Okay.
So it was just to me, it was just a more interesting business path. Like I liked the logical part of the business and all of that, but also the more interesting part of marketing, which is part science, part art.
So run with that. So give me you're a professional marketing person. What is marketing? You know what? Why should I consider spending some of my hard-earned money on quote unquote marketing?
Yeah, I mean, to me, the best marketers are those that sort of put on the shoes of the customer
Okay.
and bring the customer to the executive table when you're making decisions about your business.
Okay.
So I think it's just really how can you make sure that whatever you're building as a company, whether it's service or products or whatever, that the customer is top of mind.
Okay.
I think sometimes shareholders win out.
Sure.
And that could cause some problems,
Sure.
or employees win
Sure.
out, or whatever. So I think just really making sure you have a strong advocacy for the customer, to me, is what marketing's all about.
So, but it's more than just an advertisement.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get you to riff on.
Got it. Yes. Yes, more than just an advertisement. It's really the story of what your brand is all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a combination of everything, all the packaging, the signage, the public relations, your social media, your website, how your employees interact with your customers. All of that is marketing.
Okay.
How you tell your story.
And why does that appeal to you?
It's just fun. It's sort of this like psychology of trying to understand how people think and react.
Are you a storyteller?
I'm not a very good storyteller. I'm very impatient, and I always just want to jump to the end of the story.
Okay, you get my point. You get my point.
Yeah.
It sounds like if I were in marketing, that's how I would do it. Yeah. You get my point.
Yeah, exactly. You can figure this out.
Okay, so do you think you converged on communications pretty quickly after the swing and a miss on education?
Yeah, it was definitely more my style.
Okay,
Yeah.
and did you? And I should have it. I think I have your LinkedIn open. You went to wrong LinkedIn. Did you knock out your bachelor's in 4 years?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got into an advertising agency as an intern during college, which is kind of how I started my career, was in marketing and advertising agencies. There was an Albuquerque connection. An Albuquerque gentleman has an agency in Arlington, Texas, which is not far from Fort Worth. So,
because it looked like you started your career in Dallas.
I did.
In the Dallas area.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I stayed out there 8 years after college. Yeah.
So pretty decent chunk of time. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was right at the beginning height of the .com era.
So roughly 2000?
It was 98, 99. I
Okay.
graduated in 97, so I worked at an agency for about a year, and then I went on to a digital agency when that was a thing.
So
Yeah.
when the .com bubble burst, you watched everyone's marketing budgets evaporate?
Yeah, but I was
Because that's
lucky.
the first to go, by the way.
Yeah, I was lucky. I was at the time of the burst, I was working on American Airlines account, and they were transitioning to everything online, like checking in online, booking your flights
Interesting.
online.
Okay.
And so they were saving money because people were doing it themselves instead of having to pay customer service people.
Yep.
So my job was sort of saved by that.
Yep.
It was a conversion in customer behavior. So I was lucky that I got to stay on and continue to work with American Airlines for a long time.
Did you stick around with that account long enough for 9/11?
I did. I was actually in New York on 9/11.
No way.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yes,
right. I
but-
can't let that one go.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
that was about the time that American was doing all of those conversions to online things, actually. 'Cause
And
that was 2001.
And so you were presumably in New York on business?
I was there, yeah. Pepsi was another one of my clients, and we were there
Okay.
for meetings with Pepsi there in upstate New York. And we were
Oh, you were
staying
upstate New York.
Well, we were staying in Manhattan because the DDB office
Oh,
of New York
Okay.
was there, and we were partners. The Dallas and New York office were partners on the Pepsi account. So I was meeting with my colleagues at DDB in New York, and then we were going to head up to Pepsi that same day. We didn't get to go because of 9/11.
Whoa.
Yeah,
so
it
you were
was
in
wild.
Manhattan.
It was-
how far away from the trade center?
5 miles. I was in Midtown.
Whoa.
It was crazy. It was the craziest thing I've ever been through. I mean, we saw the fires coming off the building before
Yep.
they fell. The smoke just filled the entire city. It smelled like an electrical fire, like a really, really bad electrical fire. It was dark for we were stuck
Did
there
the
for 3 days.
power went out?
Or they turned it off. I don't know if it was a combination of both of those things, but there were no cars on the street except for fire trucks and, police cars.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so that morning, so first plane hits.
Yeah, we were having breakfast, and somebody in the restaurant was like, "Oh my gosh, a plane just hit the World Trade Center."
Okay.
So all the people in the restaurant ran out to the street to go look because we were looking right down Fifth Avenue, and you could look.
Okay.
And so then at that time, the second plane had hit, and just panic set in. Because everyone at first thought the first one was an accident.
No, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, a funny thing. I was a grad student at UNM, and I was watching on TV, and when the first plane hit, and the second plane hit, I'm like, that's not a coincidence.
Exactly. Yes. And you could literally see crowds of people rushing uptown to where we were.
Yeah.
And some people were covered in whatever they were covered in.
So they had been
Yeah.
quite close.
Yeah. It was
Jeez,
wild.
and you were locked in your hotel room for 3 days?
Yes. And thankfully I was with other coworkers, so at least we had each other, but it was crazy. And DDB had travel agencies, so they kind of helped us get out of there, but it was intense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's quite the story. I think
Yeah.
you're the first person I've ever met that
Oh,
was
really?
in New York
Oh, wow.
City
Yeah, it was-
on 9/11.
It was fascinating. It still feels like it just happened yesterday. Like I can still picture so many of the moments from that day.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that day. I mean,
Yeah.
I eventually made my way to school, and then classes were canceled for the day. I remember one of my
right.
professors being all irritated, and I'm like, we're kind of under attack.
Right.
I mean, it seems
Yeah.
like a pretty
Good
warranted.
excuse. Right. Well, and that was really creepy part too, is that the only planes in the air were F-16s.
Yeah,
And so that's just a really creepy feeling of
totally.
seeing, especially over New York City. It's probably not common that those are flying overhead.
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Enough of 9/11. Let's get back to
Back to today. Yes.
So 8 years of your career in Dallas. Up until that point, you were an Albuquerque kid.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about Dallas in the late 90s, early 2000s.
It was fun. It was growing.
Yeah.
And it was super fast paced. I remember coming back here and thinking,
Like
nope.
having to downshift a little
and,
bit.
they're not going to call me back for a week. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So it was really fast paced.
Okay.
I would say it's kind of competitive. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has to have fancy cars and fancy houses and all
Yeah.
of those things.
That's
So
the one part of Dallas.
that was the tough part for me too.
It's
Yeah.
definitely a bit more materialistic.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 years, a pretty decent chunk of time. What brought you back?
Family.
Okay.
I was coming back quite often because my grandfather was pretty sick.
Okay.
And so in my trips back, I reached out to Steve McKee because I saw their sign of, McKee Wallwork Advertising.
By the way, did you notice that's our neighbors?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So I had stayed in contact with Steve McKee for a couple of years, and then he offered me a job.
Okay.
So that's when I came back.
Okay.
Is when I got that job.
Do me a favor. Talk a little bit about Steve McKee, because his name, I don't know him, never met him. I know of him.
Mm-hmm.
And when I run in marketing circles, they make a big deal out of him.
Yeah. He's brilliant. He's a brilliant branding strategist.
Okay.
Really understands kind of the process of how to develop a brand strategy, how to develop a marketing plan in the right order.
Okay.
He taught me so many things. He's great with clients in those relationships of, pushing, but also hearing what they have to say and making it a collaborative process.
Okay.
I learned a ton from him. I worked for him for almost 9 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the history of the firm? Do you know when it was started?
It was started I think they just had their 25th anniversary a couple of years ago. So, I don't know, late 90s is probably when they started.
Okay.
And it was Steve McKee and Pat Wallwork.
Okay.
And they started it, and then they've had a few different creative directors come in over the years, but they've been around a long time, and I think Pat's actually still working for them. Steve retired recently.
Yeah, the last person who knew him told me that he was no longer with the firm, but still local, correct?
He is, yeah. He's actually speaking at Forum in late May.
Oh, he is?
So, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so I jotted down here in my notes, what does Director of Integrated Marketing do?
Great question.
Because that's your title,
yes.
according to your LinkedIn profile.
McKee, yes.
Yeah.
So,
or was your title?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It was, yeah.
Yep.
So at the time, digital marketing and traditional marketing and public relations and all of those things were very different or distinct from each other and handled by different agencies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, at McKee, we were trying to make an effort to bring all of that in one place for clients because it just made things easier for them. Messaging consistency could be better. Just the tone of voice you used in those things, the money you spent on those things could be more in sync with each other if one agency was managing it all. So at the time I was doing a lot of research on the different technologies that were coming out, CRM tools or those kind of things. So just helping clients bring all of their marketing together in a more cohesive way.
CRM tools came around in the 2000s?
At least for marketing purposes. They were used for sales.
Okay.
But marketing in terms of email communications or digital communications, that was new for marketing, like the HubSpots of the world and those kind of things.
Really? Because now it's just so ubiquitous.
I know, right?
Yeah,
it's so common.
Like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
What did you do before? And what was before that? A spreadsheet?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Okay. And before
Or a
that,
whiteboard.
literally a Rolodex?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so it looks like you did in your career arc, you did a few other, I'll just call them short term for lack of a better word, Esparza, Visit Albuquerque, Indian Pueblo Cultural Center. So you were basically doing in-house marketing for those groups?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Visit Albuquerque had been a client of mine for a long time at McKee Wallwork. So that's when I was working with them. I went to work for them as their VP of Marketing and Communications.
Okay, so sort of a classic, we're out-of-house support, and then all of a sudden, like, hey, we're big enough now, we want to bring you inside.
Yeah, it was fun. That's a great organization.
Which one? Visit
Albuquerque. Yeah.
Okay. What do they do?
They promote Albuquerque as a visitor destination.
Okay.
So, bring leisure travelers here or meetings, conventions, sporting events.
Okay.
Yeah, they're promoting Albuquerque to bring visitor dollars to our community.
Okay. Tell me about the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center.
Oh, that's a fascinating organization.
Okay.
So I don't know how much you know about it.
Well, it's the old Indian school from way back
that
when.
Land. Yeah.
Yep,
so it's 80 acres of land near I-40 and 12th Street. And it's a combination of a nonprofit and a for-profit entity. And it's owned and operated by the 19 Pueblos. Okay. So the 19 Pueblos of New Mexico came together to form a new government to manage that land. It's
interesting.
Yeah.
So I didn't know the hybrid nonprofit for-profit. Expand on that.
Yeah, so the nonprofit is the museum and the cultural dances and those kind of things that happen at the original kind of cultural center piece of the cultural center. And then the for-profit piece are all of the restaurant, the banquet facilities, all of the leasing that they do to 66 acres in the Laguna Burger and the Four Winds Convenience Center.
Oh, so they're almost like a commercial development.
Yes, exactly. So the commercial development helps fund the nonprofit.
Okay.
And then any, dividends go back to the Pueblos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's the overarching mission?
Really to perpetuate Pueblo culture and celebrate Pueblo
so
culture.
it's all about preservation,
Yes.
dissemination
Yep.
of cultural heritage
Yes.
for the Pueblos.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a great place to work, and we had basically an in-house agency there, the marketing team, and we have multiple brands, so it was like a dream job for me.
Well, and it's kind of a cool story as well. So
Yeah.
it's not like it'd be one thing to, I don't know, do marketing for Philip Morris. Like that, I'd have a hard time getting excited about that.
Well, and just the fact that this sovereign government came together, that's really never happened anywhere else in the world. Like, it's a very unique situation where, the Cultural Center doesn't have to have 19 bosses. They've come together to create one government, which is pretty fascinating.
Well, that must have been pretty challenging.
I imagine. It happened a long time ago.
You've got 19 different voices that you have to juggle and get everyone aligned.
And the board now is maybe 6 to 8 people.
Okay.
And those are the ones that kind of represent all of the pueblos.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fascinating place, and they do such a great job for New Mexico in building awareness of, the cultural aspects of Albuquerque and New Mexico.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's an org I probably need to dig into a little further.
Yeah, they're great.
Okay. And then you had one other gig post Pueblo Cultural Center, so Fast Company, and then you went into business for yourself.
I did. And I actually started a consulting company several years ago. I tried, let me say. I started. My kids were tiny. My first marriage was not going well. It was not a great time to start a business. But I tried to do the consulting thing that I'm doing now then. It didn't work out, so that's when I went to work with Esparza.
Yeah. Got it.
But then I started Cheetah Strategy in 2021. I really wanted to be able to work with more organizations. I think I had kind of done what I could at the Cultural Center and just wanted some more variety.
So doing the in-house thing was cool for a while, but you wanted to spread your wings.
Yeah, and I got exposed to a lot of strategic planning at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center.
Okay.
So that's kind of why I started Cheetah Strategy too, because I felt like there was a hole in the market for strategic planning. So that combination of brand strategy and strategic planning has been perfect for me.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so talk to me about, so you get in, I don't say get in on the ground floor, it is the ground floor. Tell me about that decision. I mean, was that, obviously you got to go out, you hang out your own shingle, got to go out and get clients. What was there a period where you kind of went without paycheck for a while?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yes, and I had been saving, preparing for that.
So you came in prepared.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to do that as well.
Yeah.
So tell me about that process.
Well, thankfully, the Cultural Center hired me back. So they were my first client. Yes, which was great. But really, it was just, either people I knew or referrals. LinkedIn was really great for helping me grow my business. Making those connections, staying top of mind for people. I think all of that really helped.
Yep.
Excuse me. But it was horrifying for the first year, for sure.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then as projects got completed, I had more work that I could talk about and share with people. So it's still scary today. You never know what's coming next. But I feel like I've, improved my processes or my sales skills or all of those things, and just really try to stay as helpful as I can to my clients.
Okay. And are you a one-person team?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. I have help with accounting and things like that.
Yeah, the back office stuff. Okay. Is that your plan?
I think so.
Keep it as a one person?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, sometimes I'll partner with other people, maybe a public relations agency or get some help facilitating a meeting or those kind of things. But most of the work I just do myself, which I'm kind of a control freak, so I like that.
Okay. But you don't want to go take out these guys or go be the marketing queen of New Mexico?
No, thank you. No, I'm good with the single person shop for now.
Okay.
Well, plus I have my other gig now too, so
the
Economic Forum.
Let's talk about that. What is Economic Forum?
So it's a membership organization, about 130 members, which are business leaders and other community leaders. We get together twice a month to hear about different topics related to economic growth in Albuquerque.
Yeah, you always have a speaker, correct?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So every other Wednesday, basically.
Okay. When did the organization start?
In the early 80s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's been plugging along.
Yeah, and it's been a similar organization this time. It's grown in member size, but it's really reserved for CEOs just to get together to network, hear information, form some collaboration.
But functionally, it's been pretty much the same organization?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Which I think it's great. I think it's, it's not a chamber, it's not an advocacy organization. It's really just about information sharing and networking, which people love. The members love that.
Okay. And what kind of speakers do you bring in?
All different kinds. We've had the mayor this year. President Hartzler from CNM has spoken. The CEO of Presbyterian Hospital. We brought in a gentleman from Tucson last year that talked about their downtown revitalization, kind of talking about how they did that.
You should bring him back.
We outside people that come in are really our members love to hear from them and hear their stories about how they get things done. Okay.
And like, for example, with the Tucson gentleman, are you, sparkling water. Yeah. Are you flying them in?
We don't typically pay our speakers, but if they do, require payment or expenses are paid, we'll get a sponsor. One of our members' organizations will usually step up and sponsor that because we're a nonprofit.
Okay. But you don't normally pay speakers. No. Does that limit you somewhat? Because I know as folks get higher and higher profile, they sort of demand fees.
What kind of speakers we want. But most of the people in the community aren't asking to be paid, and most of our speakers come from the community. Okay. We're bringing in somebody.
I was referring more to the outsiders.
Yeah. The outsiders definitely want to be paid, and we have a small budget for that we can pay them, or we can get sponsors. But we're bringing in a gentleman to talk about culture in the workplace later in October.
Company culture. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm experimenting this year, my first year, and just trying different types of presentations, panels.
I think that's fantastic. I can't remember who I was talking to, but when I was CEO, I used to always say I'm in the people business. Yeah. Because without an effective culture, I don't care what you're doing.
Absolutely.
It's the quality of what you're producing is going to erode.
Yeah. And this guy's name is David Friedman, and his company is CultureWise. And he really talks about...
This is what he does.
Yeah, this is his thing. And he talks about how to create behaviors associated with the values of your company. Yep. So it gets very tactical, which I think sometimes values are ethereal, and people don't really understand, what does it mean to be happy or smart or kind or whatever. And so he helps bring that to life.
Okay. And so you took over not that long ago, correct?
In January 1st.
January 1st of this year. And you took over from... Kathie Winograd.
Yes.
Who, by the way, is my neighbor in Gunnison.
Oh, yes. She's told me about this. Yeah.
We both back to the Gunnison River.
Awesome.
I'm on the south side. She's on the north side.
Nice. Yeah. She loves Gunnison.
Yeah, and I think they're setting up camp there.
I think so.
I think that's where they're going to live.
Yeah.
And the weather's great this time of year, so can't wait to get back there. Why did this role appeal to you? Why take another job?
I love people, as you said. I love making connections for people, and I feel like this is a great job to do that. Mm-hmm. Bringing people together, bringing ideas together, just helping to spark some energy into our economy, I think, is needed right now.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, so I just think my skill set of... I tell people a lot of times that I'm good at bringing order to chaos. Not that this was chaos, but I can make connections.
I get it.
So this job seems like a perfect thing for me.
Okay.
And I love knowing what's going on.
Now, for I'm going to call it your day job, you're a one-person team. Are you a one-person team on Economic Forum, or do you have staff?
We have staff.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So we have an executive assistant, and then a hospitality coordinator that kind of does the event planning and the marketing.
So you don't really have to do a lot of heavy lifting.
Well, the programming is all on me, so I need to bring in all the speakers.
Identifying, recruiting, et cetera.
Yeah, and maintaining relationships with the members, cultivating new memberships.
Okay, but that's kind of what you do.
Yeah, so that's my thing. It's fun.
Okay, that's fun. And so I guess what's your vision for Economic Forum?
That's such a great question. Right now I'm just trying to, I guess I would say, diversify in terms of the kind of topics we bring.
So, for example, the company culture person?
Yeah, the culture thing. Also, just in terms of industry and the membership base. Like, for example, we don't have a great tech representation, and I would love to have more tech companies associated with Forum. Okay. More consumer-facing businesses. We don't have a lot of those in Forum. So just really trying to bring different ideas and people to the table to maybe spark some some new exciting ideas or new collaborations that maybe haven't happened before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me know. I can help you with the tech stuff.
All right. Sounds great. Well, I'm already talking to you about the venture capital panel I'm planning, so.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to do that.
I am going to do that.
Okay. Well, let me know.
All right.
So there was one thing that jumped out at me in your background, or at least in your endeavors, I should say. And it's, I don't know what to call it. I'll just call it out by your title. Stop bagging, start bragging.
Yes.
What is that?
So it actually started at Economic Forum in 2018.
Okay.
It was a presentation that I made with Anne Marie Hinton and Alexis Tappan.
Yeah,
And
I
it
know
was,
Anne Marie. I don't think I know the third one.
So that was the title of our presentation. And we were trying to encourage the business community to stop being so negative about Albuquerque and being more positive.
Who recruited you to speak at the forum?
Bob Murphy, who was the director at the time, and Mike Canfield
Okay.
in the business community.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they came to you with the problem statement of, hey, we're tired of hearing people complain.
Yes. We need to change the narrative about Albuquerque, I think is how they put it.
And they came to you?
They came to a group of marketing people.
Oh, got it.
And so Anne Marie, Alexis, and I sort of hung in there with this project and ended up being the ones that made the presentation at Forum. And we thought it was just going to be, a 30-minute presentation.
Yeah.
The Journal covered it on the front page the next day, and it said, "The launch of a new campaign." And we all looked at each other like, oh no, what do we do now? So we got a website up in a couple of days. We started, at that time, a Twitter account.
Okay.
And just sort of started as this movement.
Okay.
And it's evolved since then. A lot of companies kind of took it on themselves. I know Sandia Labs used to send out a Start Bragging newsletter. Like, we didn't trademark it on purpose because we wanted people to use it.
You wanted people to co-opt it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So that kind of happened for a few years, and then we started a podcast. We did a radio show first on KKOB, and then that morphed into a podcast because of COVID.
Interesting.
Yeah,
really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it still sort of lives on as this theme. The three of us are all really busy right now.
Well, I was going to say, from the outside looking in, it looks like it's kind of fizzled out a little bit.
It just was hard to keep up the energy when we had other gigs and those kind of things. So
yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, it almost sounds like the genesis for that movement, for lack of a better word, is not unlike the genesis for my podcast.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of similarities.
So maybe
for sure.
slightly different theme, but the end goal being the same, which is let's talk about the positive and cool stuff that's happening in this community. At the expense of going off topic here, at the risk of going off topic here, do you think our state has a brand problem?
I think we have an internal brand problem. I think externally, most people are unfamiliar with New Mexico. Or misperceive New Mexico.
I was going to say, I think it's more the latter. I mean, I get tired of the Breaking Bad references.
Yeah. But we internally don't shout loudly about ourselves or shout positively about ourselves. I actually just last week went to the Council on Competitiveness conference in Santa Fe. Are you familiar with this?
Council on Competitiveness.
So it's a national organization that does policy work at the federal level to improve the U.S.'s position in the economy, the world economy.
Okay.
And so they hosted a conference in Santa Fe about New Mexico. It was co-sponsored by Sandia Labs and Los Alamos Labs.
This was last week? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So they talked a lot about that. It was really about
and these were external folks that came in.
It was external folks that put it on, but they had a lot of local people on the panels. And
they did. Okay, so this was a conference.
It was a conference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and they were talking about quantum and AI and the work they're doing at the labs and, all of these amazing things that are happening in New Mexico that no one's talking about.
Yeah.
And no one's celebrating and promoting. And, they were talking about Houston and how they're known now kind of as this space place. And New Mexico is so far ahead of them in terms of some of the space things that we're doing here. But nobody knows
we don't have
a
NASA center, though. So,
But we do have 2 national labs.
We do. But I mean, in all fairness, there's a reason why the saying goes, Houston, we have a problem.
But you get my point. There's a lot of amazing things happening here, but we're not talking about those. We're talking about
And I do not disagree.
Yeah.
Why is that, though?
I mean,
what is the issue?
Part of it seems like it's a cultural thing. Like, it goes back generations and generations in New Mexico.
So we're bred not to toot our horn?
Yeah. I mean, you've lived other places. I've lived in Dallas where Texans toot their own horn a lot.
Oh, heck
right?
yeah, they do.
And I think sometimes in New Mexico, celebrating success doesn't happen. It's almost embarrassing if you're successful sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's, especially with our kids, like we should be celebrating the heck out of the things that our kids are doing.
I don't remember who shared this with me, but he was talking about how their kids got good grades and were embarrassed by it and would try to.
Oh, I probably told you that story.
it.
I have that experience with my kids.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
it's gotten better the older they've gotten.
Baffling to me.
Right. It's so I mean, if it starts at a young age that you're embarrassed of your successes, that's going to continue on probably, and you're not going to want to brag about things or celebrate things. So.
But success is cool.
It is cool. I agree.
I mean, the personal freedom, the financial rewards, just why?
Yeah, and I get that we have issues to address here. I'm not trying to ignore those things, but I think we can do two things simultaneously.
Exactly.
Celebrate the great things and work on the bad things and find some success in that. I mean, New Mexico is really a great place.
Okay, Emily, so I did this to some students at Bosque School last 2 weeks ago. I'm going to make you queen for a day. So congratulations, you're now the governor.
Thank you.
What are you going to do about that brand problem?
I'm going to do a strategic plan for New Mexico.
Okay.
Yes, I've talked about this with some people lately. Like, we need a strategy for growth in New Mexico, and it has to come from the state level.
Okay. What's going to be in there?
Yeah, if we had an overarching goal, right, for the state, whatever that economic goal looks like, then it has a playbook for each organization. Here are what the lab should be doing. Here's what UNM should be doing. Here's what CNM should be doing. Here's what Economic Forum should be doing. Here's what the chamber should be doing. Like, here's what private business should be doing, the entrepreneurial community, the venture capital community. Like, if we had our lanes spelled out for us and we were all working in concert toward the same goal, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And for years to come, not just for this governor's term or the next governor's term, but governor after governor after governor after governor.
Yeah.
Like, if we had a strategic plan, that would be amazing.
And I'm a big fan of don't recreate the wheel.
Right.
And you don't have to go far to go get some examples. You talked about Dallas.
Yeah.
I came from Denver,
Phoenix.
Salt Lake, Phoenix.
Right.
Just go there and let's get their playbook.
And I feel like maybe we're lacking a little focus in New Mexico. We're trying a lot of different things.
Yeah, I see that sometimes too. They talk about, hey, we want 9 industries that we want to, highlight, and it's like that's way too many.
And I think if we could take 1 or 2 and figure those out, and then model that behavior for the other ones, I think that could be really beneficial too.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Governor Howard, you have my vote. I really do like that. Switching gears, talk to me about your volunteer roles.
One of them is with the United Way.
Okay.
I sit on the board for United Way on the executive committee for that board.
What does United Way do?
The way they describe themselves, which I can appreciate, is sort of the connector in the community. So they're bringing services directly to people that need help. Like, they have the 211 line for people to call if they need help with paying their rent or their electric bill.
211? Really?
Yeah.
And just like 911, it goes to an operator.
Yeah, and United Way operates that entire line.
Is that 24/7?
Yeah, it's
wow,
amazing.
That's cool.
They, and then they also make donations to agencies to serve the community, the Domestic Violence Center, those kind of things.
So they are a funding entity as well.
Yeah, so they're funding entities and have their own services. They have Tax Help New Mexico. They help low-income people with their taxes every year.
Yeah.
And get the returns that they deserve for that. But they're just really an organization that's building connections between the people that have the need and the rest of the community. They're just launching a new program, and I'm probably not going to explain this as best that they can, but the ALICE, which is...
Is that an acronym?
It's an acronym for Asset Constrained, Limited Income But Employed. So these are employed people. Probably is. I probably got it wrong.
Okay.
But it's people that are working, but they still can't make ends meet.
Okay.
Which is a huge portion of New Mexico.
I bet.
Yeah, and so this, out of New Jersey, the United Way in New Jersey runs this for the entire country. So I think New Mexico is like the 34th state to do this. And they come in and they do data down to the county level of what income looks like for each county of New Mexico.
Okay.
And so they provide all of this economic data on house and household data, so then we can start to create policies that help these people that are working hard but still just can't make ends meet.
Got it.
And that new data is supposed to roll out, I think, in the fall this year. So it can be used by anybody in the state. Employers can use it to maybe judge how they're paying their employees. Policy at the state level could be impacted. P&M could decide they're going to charge different rates for people. Like, there's just a huge number of ways you can use this data.
Okay.
So United Way is driving that right now, which is one of their big initiatives.
How long have you been on that board?
I think this is my 5th year.
So pretty decent chunk of time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about this other volunteer role, 505 Sports Venture Foundation. What is that?
So that is the NIL Collective, Name, Image, and Likeness Collective for the University of New Mexico. Raising money to pay the athletes, because that's how it works these days. And really just trying to, encourage the community to get more involved with Lobo athletics and help them understand the economic impact that athletics has on our community.
Okay. And why does that appeal to you?
I'm curious about NIL. It's a newish phenomenon in college sports, so I'm curious to learn more about it. And I'm just a sports person. I love athletics.
Okay.
Participating, watching. So I just think it's fascinating. I think, the economy would change so much if sports were doing well at UNM. Like, you look at schools like Colorado. Yeah. Deion Sanders shows up and suddenly that entire university and town is transformed. Yeah. Texas Christian has done the same thing in Fort Worth.
Absolutely.
So I think people underestimate the power that sports can have, not only economically on the community, but just bringing people together around something.
And enhancing a brand, a community's brand. So, you and I are both on that board, and so we both had a kind of a front row seat to, the emergence of NIL and all that stuff. What's your perspective?
I mean, it is what it is now, right? We just have to accept that this is how it's going to be. Yeah. I think eventually there are going to be some more structure to it. Right now it's sort of chaos, and with the transfer portal and all these other things.
Yeah, we have revenue sharing coming, right? And I think that's supposed to settle things
hopefully.
Down.
Yeah, where the university can pay the players directly. So, but it makes it, recruiting is one thing, but retention is a whole nother piece of it. So we might get these great athletes in here, but we've got to find a way to keep them.
And the way we've been going, they're all one and done, right?
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not just for you. That's not just a problem for UNM.
Generalizing here. Yeah. Okay. Talk to me about non-professional, Emily.
Non-professionally, I'm a professional mom and wife. Those are my other two jobs.
Okay.
I have 2 teenage daughters.
Okay.
And they're both doing grade school. They go to St. Pius.
They go to Pius as well? Mm-hmm. Okay. I heard one's a volleyball player.
Oh, they're both volleyball players.
Oh, they're both volleyball players. Okay.
Yeah. They're both taller than I am now. They're pushing 5'10" and 5'9". It's crazy.
Oh, dang.
I know. It's awesome.
That's girls volleyball is incredibly competitive.
It is. And I mean, that's short for girls volleyball. Yeah, they're loving it. They're having a good time. They're playing at school. They're playing in club.
That's cool. Yeah. You think they're going to have a chance to take it?
I don't know. This is so competitive.
I know.
There's so many girls now.
Competitive.
But regardless, they're going to learn amazing life skills just by playing these sports now. So whatever happens in the future happens, but they're loving it. They're making great relationships with their friends. They're learning how to deal with coaches. Like, there's so many skills that they're getting out of this besides volleyball. Yeah. I love to see. It's so cute to see them be competitive like their mom.
Oh, that's funny. Talk to me about what makes you excited about New Mexico, hopeful, excited, et cetera.
Yeah, I mean, that conference that I went to last week got me pretty excited. Okay. There's just so much promise in the tech space, all of those kind of things. And I think if we can kind of replicate what we did in the film industry and some of these other industries, I think the diversification piece about New Mexico's economy is huge. Yeah. You've got to find some other avenues besides oil and gas and government reliance on those two sectors.
You've been around, so you've been here continuously for the last couple decades. Mm-hmm. Why film? Why did film become the favored child?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think in my opinion, and this is just from me, I think since it's kind of related to tourism, and tourism was a really good industry for us, that it was a natural fit.
Okay.
And I think our varied landscape had a lot to do with it too. There aren't a lot of states where you can get mountains and desert and all these amazing vistas in one place. So I'm sure, and the weather. I mean, you can film 360 days a year here, so
yeah, that's
I'm
true.
sure that was part of it too.
That's true. I guess to me it just seems like an odd one, only because from an economic impact standpoint, I can think of other areas, aerospace, healthcare, all that kind of stuff, bio, that could be hugely more impactful.
And maybe it's because it's better understood by everybody too.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, some of these other industries are pretty complex.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Emily, my final question. Why should I consider a career in communications?
Because it's fun. It's fascinating. It's like this scientific piece of it where you're really trying to figure out data and all of these things, but then there's this artistic side of it too. I don't know. That world coming together for me is really exciting.
And psychology?
And psychology, yes. You have to understand
the humans do things for whatever odd reason.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I don't know. It's just fascinating to me.
Okay. I'm
and
sold.
It's different every day. It changes. Marketing is changing every minute.
Well, it is, especially with technology.
So it doesn't get boring.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, new platforms.
Yeah, right.
By the way, are you on TikTok?
No. No, I don't have the energy for TikTok.
Okay. I've been told it's a big deal.
I've heard.
Okay, Emily. Well, that's all I have for you.
Thank you, Doug.
Thank you
Appreciate it.
for joining me.